Hey everyone, welcome. My name is Christine.
And I'm Denise.
And we are
Soul Nectar.
Nectar with a K. We're excited to help you discover what it means to live luminously.
Having conversations about what that means and how to explore and expand our inner radiance, becoming the architects of our lives and recognizing the power that we have in that.
Yes, to know ourselves, to know our inner world more than focusing on our outer world, and to know what it means to be and experience a life that is full of joy and excitement and just really understanding who we are as humans.
So join us. Bring yourself, your open mind, and your willingness to create your dream life and design from your heart space to fully step into the present moment.
Get to know yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
And explore and expand your soul nectar.
Yes.
Hi. Welcome to Soul Nectar Sunday.
My name is Christine.
I'm Denise.
And we are Soul Nectar. We have soulnectar.com. Soul Nectar is our handle on Instagram and Facebook.
Nectar with a K.
Nectar with a K. We're really excited here today to get started, as Soul Nectar Sundays have been part of our passion project in getting the word out about how to navigate this experience that we're all having here in this 2022 life. And we are excited to talk to you about what it means to really understand what your soul nectar is. And in doing that, we'd like to talk today a little bit about the inner world and the outer world of this life experience we're having.
Getting our positive vibes flowing and being aware of that more and more in our everyday lives and watching magic happen. I want to just tell a quick story about yesterday. I got to spend some time we have a monthly event for children in foster care and their parents and their biological children as well, to come and spend a few hours basically in a magical carnival land of activities and good food and lots of kids. We had visiting baby goats, and I got to do some baby goat yoga, and it was a sunny October evening and the kids were running around everywhere. I was on all fours in this very small pen that was just recently set up about a half an hour before that. I got on all fours, and lo and behold, the baby goat owner who pulled them out of his sedan, he set them on
goats
my
in
back.
the sedan.
And it was so much fun.
He set them on your back?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he kind of plunked them down. So I was a little shocked at how hard he plunked them down. Because I was kind of like, hey, dude.
Ouch.
But
they have hooves.
Yeah, but it was so much fun. And it was nothing like beautiful and a metaphysical out-of-body experience with the baby goats. It was super fun and playful, but not like they show on the videos. But it was so much fun. Yeah. Oh, I guess it was like
they can check it out on the Instagram, right? Because we're going to post about it.
Yeah. You can see a couple pictures and my very intense poses with all the frolic. But what I woke up with this morning with that whole experience yesterday and being around the children and the goats was just that feeling of being in such a good space that I created by holding to my commitment that I'd made to do this every month, and my daughter as well, and bringing her friends, and the feeling, the rewards you get after doing that, and the positive
energy you get from showing up and being available for others, which is of service, right? Because I think that's a huge part of what makes us feel good as humans, you know, like we can all have a good time and celebrate life with our family and friends and all of these wonderful things, and those things are wonderful and as important as well, but then there's this next level. How do you show up for people when you show up at a foster care event? It's not just for the kids, it's for you as well, right?
Yeah, and the momentum of feelings that it brings to one's life when you do things like that. Whatever we do that makes us feel that good, that's a really, really high vibe. And when you're in service and helping, and it's children, and you see you're surrounded by people and animals that are all there doing the same thing.
Right. You're in harmony with everything around you.
But it funnels, then my vision, my feeling, and my perspective for the next day is already really high.
10 times better.
Because of creating these experiences and then opening up to more.
And you don't always feel like doing it when you wake up in the morning. You don't always feel like, oh, that's where you want to go or what you want to do. But then you follow through with that and you take action in that space. And then you realize, oh, it was set up for me too, right? It shares your soul. It helps you grow and become aware of the things in life that you don't need anything extra. It's just being there and being present. It helps you understand the energy of being present in the moment. Because when you're with kids who have nothing and have had very stressful, overwhelming lives, it brings you very present into the moment that you're at. And it helps you expand your heart and your soul nectar, right?
Yes.
That's what we call our soul nectar, like that inner world of beauty, that inner world of understanding and hope and higher vibration of emotions and feelings and things that carry us through this life that really actually feed our soul versus just feed the moment. Right?
And being able to show up there and hold a space for them, because that's really what it's about. When I'm with them, I'm just there to accompany them. I'm their guide through this exciting event.
Yeah.
And there's breakdowns, and there's a lot goes on in 3 hours.
Right.
But to just be able to be there and give that sort of service, to just be I'm present. Here for you. I love you.
You're important because you're you.
And I'm present. It's that being so present. The more I've been thinking so much lately about being present and being more aware of being present, and what does that mean, and what does it look like? What does it feel like?
Right.
And that was complete presence,
Absolute presence.
And we create that all day long, our presence or lack of presence.
So presence, so let's define that. What is being present? In any moment of every day, you can find presence, or you can attune or notice presence. And so presence to me means being able to calm or quiet the monkey mind. The mind is, what I've learned through my studies and healing journey, is that the mind is the place that causes us to suffer if we're not aware of it. So sometimes people identify so deeply with what they have going on in their mind. It's like what we would consider maybe our ego. And they identify so strongly with their thoughts and their opinions that they have a hard time becoming present, because they're always having to feed that ego, to feed those thoughts. And so what ends up happening is they lose their ability to become present, because their mind is the leading force of their attention.
Right. That's how most of us live most of the time, when we're not paying attention.
Right. If you're not aware.
Yeah. What is it that you call it?
The monkey mind?
There's so many different names, but the monkey mind, I think, is such a good... What is the monkey mind, Christina?
So, well, there you go. That's a good question, right? The monkey mind, I mean, it's almost self-explanatory, right? It's when your mind is going off, basically, inside. You're just in your mind, you're noticing the thoughts, and maybe you're not realizing that you're noticing the thoughts, but maybe your thoughts are just going crazy from one thing to another. And some people kind of identify that as either depression or anxiety. I think they identify it as a constant companion in their head running the show. So like you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh my God, I got to check my emails. I got to look at my Instagram. I got to check my face. Oh, so-and-so, I got to call back. I got to, check the email. That's the monkey mind. At Soul Nectar, what we're really trying to kind of push the conversation forward with is, are you the monkey mind, and or is the monkey mind serving you?
And how to get out of the monkey mind.
Right.
How to recognize when you're in it and acknowledge, like, okay, wait a minute, this isn't really me. This isn't am I following my inner guides when I'm following my monkey mind? No. My higher self.
Your
Am I tapping into
your
that,
witness.
or am I tapping into chaos and the busyness and
the busyness of life? And sometimes the busyness serves us, right? It keeps us happy. Summertime is a fun time to kind of pay attention to the monkey mind, I think, because we have lots of things to do, especially in the Northwest, where the summer is a very vibrant season where we are outside and we are barbecuing and having celebrations and getting together and riding inner tubes down the river and going camping and doing all those fun things in life. And sometimes you need to be busy and your schedule needs to be full.
Yeah.
But then there comes those other times where maybe your life isn't as full with things to do, or maybe something stressful has come into your life and the monkey mind takes over and it causes you to actually feel bad or sad or depressed or anxious. And so we want you to understand with this podcast that we are trying to help you understand that you, as your divine self, your higher self, your witness self, are not that monkey mind. So you can build space between that monkey mind and you by noticing that it is something other than you. Because can you actually be something that you notice? Can you notice your real self? Or are you just you? You're just present. Like when you're sitting on I have to go to the beach example because I think a lot of people find peace and presence at the beach where the sound and the rhythm of the waves come in and there you go. See, Denise just took a nice natural deep breath, which is a sign that she's activated her calming system of the nervous system. And that's a really incredible automatic thing that happens in the body when you feel at peace. Your body will take a natural deep breath, and that's a signal that you are in your calming system. That's when you have rest and digest, you have regeneration, you have growth, and those are the places in which you can become very present. That's the space in the body and the nervous system where you can become very present and you can allow the monkey mind to silence. And when the monkey mind silences, that's when presence shows up. That's when you notice the birds singing, the air on your skin, the sound of the waves. And that is what we want you to have access to. So we're so thankful that you're here listening to our podcast and wanting to know more about ways in which you can become more present, which brings more joy and happiness and allows you to really design your life and become the architect of your own life.
Amen. And being present is the greatest gift we can give to each other. When we're present, when we're talking or
At ease.
expressing something, anything, and being present is sexy.
Yes, it's delicious.
Nobody wants to be around people that are really in their own head and not really paying attention to that time together, because we don't get so much beautiful communal time together.
Right.
We do with our families, and half the time people are so tuned out or their phones going, and having the family dinners, that's a great,
absolutely.
especially as we're coming into fall again, like putting whatever time our families can get together.
Right.
I know with Tula and I, we've just started having more kind of
sit down.
Dinner
Presence.
Together. Yeah, I love that.
That's a beautiful thing. You can redirect your own family's presence by becoming present yourself.
The drive to school. There's so many opportunities that we can really tap into if we're looking for it, and being aware of creating more of those really quality times with people.
And as you become more present,
you
begin to show up differently, and that always informs and really helps everyone else get to the place of presence and hearing and noticing and experiencing life at a level that brings joy to you, that makes you feel full, fills your cup.
When we lived in Costa Rica, my daughter went to this fabulous school, and two of the women that ran the school, they started these parent classes, and they were amazing, and they were very wise women. One was from Colombia and one was German, and they're very high minds. And I remember them telling us about the importance of preparing for when our child was finished with school every day, of stopping what we were doing,
It's
10
so
minutes
important.
before they're going to get home, and just breathing and getting present, so that when they walk in the door, and I loved how they said they don't want cookies on the table when they come home from school. I mean, they do, of course, but they want you to be present for them. And so it helped me, and I try to do it as much as possible. Just be really present for my daughter when she gets out of school.
Yeah.
And be waiting for her, and not on my phone. And, I abuse that sometimes, of course, but it's something that I try to do more often than not. And it, like you said, I'm setting the tone for our talk. I'm setting the tone of being present. I'm setting the tone of I'm here.
You're showing her
for
how
you.
to be present too.
Yeah,
in
right.
that.
Teaching.
We're
teaching.
always modeling for our kids. I mean, Denise and I both have girls, so I'm sure I'll refer to our girls. But I mean, children and they really, really, really feed off what you're giving them. So when they come home from school and they've had that busyness going on, it is so telling for the rest of the evening if you are present when they come home. I'm just wondering, what are ways in which you get present for yourself? Which ways do you practice presence?
I set my phone down. If I'm waiting, I wait in the car often to pick her up, and
That's cool.
I set my phone down and just quiet my mind. I don't sit in my car and necessarily think about my breathing or anything like that. I give my day a pause.
Give your day a pause.
And
that's beautiful.
And then I observe the kids starting to trickle out one by one. So I, tapping into the day that they've had.
Right.
One of the best things that I ever did to understand what it feels like for my daughter when she comes home from school is going to when she was in like 7th, 8th grade. They had the parent goes to school for a day with their kid. Oh. And you can do like a half a day. And you go through each of their periods with them to the teachers and the classes. Oh my God. When I walked out of there after that day, I had been around so many hundreds of kids in rooms and talking and teachers and energy, the cafeteria. And I had a new awakening about what our children feel when they come home from school. Yeah. They need time to just unwind. Yeah. That's such a good point, to put yourself in someone else's shoes before you notice, because we all have people in our lives, whether it's our children or our husbands or our brothers, sisters, whatever. We all have people in our lives that can kind of feel overwhelming, let's say. Sure. So, and if you think about it, you don't know what their day is like every day, And when you sit back and you take on that experience of empathy, really is what you're describing by going to school with her, you're able, that's why empathy is so huge and so important in relationships and community and understanding. When you see somebody and they present themselves a certain way, it's like, oh, you don't know where they've been or what they've been doing or what they're around every day. So then what it does for me is it pulls up the idea of the mirror. How are you showing up when you go into a new place or you go to someone's house? Or how am I showing up when I see my friend that I haven't seen in a while? Or how am I showing up when I come home from work, or when I'm at home waiting for the people I love to come home from work and school? What kind of energy am I in? And so then you start noticing all the different places and people that change your energy if you're not aware of it, and you begin to get really picky about what you allow in your life, whether it's a movie or a conversation or anything like that. It's very eye-opening to notice presence in general, because once you begin to notice presence, you begin to notice when you're not in presence. Oh yeah. And dream about, take a moment to think about what your dream response is of the people in your life, of how do I want my partner to greet me when I walk in the door? That's presence, because I think we can imagine it super good. Yeah. So to embody that and learn from ourselves, basically, we're teaching ourselves what our highest vibration of presence is right now, at least, and hopefully it'll even change over time and expand and become more and more.
Well, and it does. Like, I mean, for example, when my husband gets home right now, one thing I'm doing is making sure, like, my daughter and I have gotten really good because my husband works pretty late at night. And so when he comes home, we go upstairs and we're in bed getting ready for bed or whatever. And what I realized is, like, I thought one day, God, he comes home and the house is dark. The lights are out downstairs. Yeah. And it's totally probably quiet in the house. And he probably has to be quiet after he's been at this chaotic job all day. And then I thought, what would I want to walk into?
Yeah,
you
right?
know, like, how do I want to feel noticed, loved, and
anticipating
my arrival and caring that I'm coming home.
Yeah.
And so I realized, like, oh my God. So now what we do, light a candle. We do, maybe sometimes we'll do a little incense, but then I'll turn on the music station of the slow jazz or whatever. And so the other day my husband calls me and he says, oh my, it's kind of funny because I was upstairs and he was downstairs, but he was getting himself something to eat. Like, we had made him a plate and so he was eating it. And he called me and he's, babe, this is so nice coming home and the music is on and the candles are lit and the incense, it smells so, oh, he loved it. And he noticed it to the point where he called me.
Yeah.
You know? So I've been trying to do that as often as I can. Of course, sometimes it doesn't happen, but as often as I can to let him know that, hey, I care about you and I'm present, that you're coming home and I'm anticipating it and I love you and I want you to feel loved.
Oh.
And it's been doing really great.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been
what a beautiful gift too.
Yeah.
And that's presence. Like, that is, we were here, we were thinking of you.
Right.
We're waiting for you.
Right. Whereas, you know, in the past I'd be like, oh, I'm just so tired waiting up for him. And then you're in that mood where you're not present.
Yeah.
And they come home and it's like, hi, oh, food's here. Get that. Well, that doesn't feel good. Yeah, I'm going to go upstairs. You know, that doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
He'd rather me just be upstairs, just feeling like, hey, I care about you coming home and I notice you. That really helps, I think, a lot. Yeah. It's a fun way to show presence to someone and to let them know that you're thinking about them, because I think that's what we all want, right? We all want to feel like somebody's thinking about us, somebody loves us, and that energy spreads big time.
It's also the beautiful energy of self-care, of doing that for ourselves. Like, the feeling that I get when I walk in my house and I take the time to turn on the lamps, turn on all the lamps that are in the house, just whatever I have that creates that light ambiance, turn on my music, and just those two things, lighting and the music. Right. And then, of course, a candle. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, gotta have a candle.
Boom. It's another world. It goes between kind of to doing, I gotta clean up, and to like, oh yeah, I am creating my space to feel the magic in everything I'm doing, so that when I have to unload the dishwasher,
it
it's
feels
fun
sexy.
And
it feels good.
And,
turn on a little vibe, turn on a music, turn on something, and become present in your life, even in the smallest moments, when you're doing the dishes or when your partner's coming home from work. Those are moments to really harness and notice and make more of, you know. So it's a beautiful thing. We really encourage you at Soul Nectar to find presence in your everyday life, whether it's doing what we do or maybe just sitting down with yourself and noticing that your monkey mind is directing your emotional body, the way you feel about things, and maybe beginning to find space. That's something Denise and I talk about a lot in our yoga classes, is learning the difference between the witness and the monkey mind. Can you witness the mind? And one last thing I'll leave you with, if you are having trouble kind of understanding what we're talking about, is ask yourself this question. This is an Eckhart Tolle suggestion. Eckhart Tolle is one of our modern spiritual teachers. You can find him on YouTube. And one activity that he gives to notice the monkey mind, so that you can notice that you're not the monkey mind, is ask yourself, what thought will come up in my mind next? So sit with yourself for a moment quietly. Maybe you're in your room, or maybe you're in your car, or maybe you're just sitting on your porch, and ask yourself to focus and say what thought will come up next. And you will begin to notice that the mind will get silent. And then it will take a minute, but before you know it, something will pop up, and you may or may not notice, but if you practice asking yourself what thought will come up next, you will begin to notice those thoughts as movies going across the screen. Maybe you get a picture in your head, or maybe you get a sensation in your body, but you'll begin to notice that you're noticing something outside of you. And so then you begin to realize that your monkey mind is not you, but it is dictating where your emotions and your feelings are going. So find space between the monkey mind and you so that your thoughts aren't running your life. Because depending on how your thoughts are, whether they're good or bad, you can find control over the mind by accessing awareness of the mind.
Yes, and we will be tuning in and creating these podcasts on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. And so we encourage you to drop in and hang out with us as we explore new ways of thinking and being, moving with yoga and brain science. And
Yeah, neuroplasticity. What?
What?
What's that? We want to hook you up, girl.
Oh, yeah. And get on soulnectar.com and check out our just launched skincare line. It is fabulous. If I do say so myself, wow. And we've got a really amazing little trio for under $100 that you can get started with, totally skin polishing, refining,
Nutrient
feed it
dense.
nutrients, and then we have our amazing Vine Intervention super moisturizing cream that is perfect for this new fall weather.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Go
So-
check it out. You can use our products for rituals and self-care and just diving into more presence, really. You slow down and put some body oil on your body, and that's what self-care is all about. It's about feeling good.
Taking time for yourself to fill your cup.
Yeah, fill your cup up. That's what we love to do. Thanks for tuning in.
And then share it.
Yeah, and share it. Please share it. Tag us. Go for it. Thanks for tuning in.